Sports at bedtime.
This is the news at bedtime with me, John Tweedledum, in the studio.
And me, Jim Tweedledee, reporting live from the launch site of the Nurseryland Space Programme. It's a truly historic day, a historic moment in history. And there's an incredible atmosphere here in the field as last-minute preparations are finalised before the countdown begins to put a cow over the moon.
And we'll be getting live updates from Jim about how historic everything is as the launch window approaches.
Yes, indeed, John. In days to come, everyone will remember where they were on this epoch-making day.
I'll remember that I was in a basement studio with a cold cup of coffee introducing the sport. So here's the sport with Harry Parry.
I'm Harry Parry, and I'm talking to the controversial bad boy of athletics.
And here he comes now. He's stretching his legs and showing his class. Oh, it's another sensational win for the top long-distance runner, the Gingerbread Man. And look at that, delight iced all over his face.
I have an exclusive interview with Ginger later in the programme.
Look forward to that, Harry. Also coming up this bedtime.
We should be proud of our boys. They had a job to do and they did it. It's very much mission accomplished.
The Grand Old Duke of York defends what many critics argue was a completely pointless march to the top of the hill with his 10,000 men. Most listeners would have imagined that this was a pretty important story, but apparently no. We have to go back to Jim Tweedledee being epoch-making at Mission Control.
Thanks, John. And as the whole world holds its breath, I'm now talking to the figure at the epicentre of today's historic lunar leap, the cow.
Hi.
Cow, as the first cow to go into space in what is a momentous moment in time, can I ask you the question that everyone on Earth wants to know? How do you go to the toilet in space?
Yeah, I get asked that quite a lot, and I always say the same thing. You don't want to be on Jupiter when I'm flying over.
No. But to be serious, Cow, what do you eat before you go into space?
I have a strict diet that's been designed by the nutritional scientists. It involves quite a lot of grass.
Fascinating. Thank you, Cow. And on behalf of all the listeners in Nurseryland, can I wish you all the luck in the world and in worlds beyond. Back to you, John, in the studio.
Yes, Jim, I'm very much still here in the studio with Estelle Sarni and the Grand Old Duke of York.
Hello.
Last week saw the return of your regiment following a long campaign up the hill. You marched 10,000 men up to the top of the hill and then you marched them down again. What was the point of that?
We achieved our tactical objectives. When we were up, we were certainly up, and when we were down, we were very much down.
What about when you were only halfway up?
Well, then we were neither up nor down.
Admit it, you launched an ill-thought-out, ill-conceived and legally dubious assault on the hill with no idea what to do once you had gained control of it.
Now, you're going too far.
A bit like your 10,000 men.
No, we had evidence that the hill posed a real threat to the security of Nurseryland, and however things have turned out, you cannot fault the professionalism and the commitment...
Are you going to resign?
No,
Are you going to apologise?
No.
Are you going to resign for not apologising?
I-
Or apologise for not resigning?
What I am...
I want you to do something dramatic now so that it makes the news headlines.
I'm afraid I have had enough of this, and I am marching out now.
Thank you, Grand Old Duke of York.
Now I am marching back in again.
Hello, Grand Old Duke of
I
York.
would like to address...
Sorry, that's all we have time for
Well-
now. Now, the news headlines with Peter Piperson.
Here are the headlines tonight. The Grand Old Duke of York has refused to apologise or resign over the Hill debacle. He said on this programme, "I am marching out now, and now I am marching in again." And following the Grand Old Duke of York's headline-making marching debacle, newsreader Peter Piperson read out the headlines. That's the headlines with me, Peter Piperson.
Now over to Dilly Dilly with the weather.
Thank you, John. And the long-range forecast is not good, I'm afraid. The north wind doth blow and we shall have snow. Brr. So if you're a robin, I'd sit in a barn, keep yourself warm and hide your head under your wing. That's your weather from me, Dilly Dilly.
Thank you, Dilly Dilly.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Dilly Dilly.
Thank you, John.
Just stop it. Now, sport with Harry Parry. Harry.
Thank you, John.
Just get on with it.
The Gingerbread Man has been breaking world record after world record this season, and between his hectic schedule of running all over the countryside, I snatched an exclusive interview with Nurseryland's fastest biscuit.
So, Ginger, if I may, another win, another record. What message have you got for the competition?
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man.
Yes, it's this supreme confidence that's made you unpopular with some of the other athletes. You won easily against the old man and old lady, but you've got some tougher opposition ahead in the form of the pig. What do you say to him?
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man.
Same old Ginger. After the pig, you've got to take on the horse. Now, he's in a different league, surely. Any tips for him?
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man.
Gingerbread Man, you are one tough cookie. Thank you very much, and we'll catch up with you later.
No, you won't.
Thanks to Harry Parry, and we're going straight back to Jim at the launch, and I'm going straight back to my Sudoku.
Well, John, incredible scenes here as we move into the dramatic final phase of the moon launch. The cow looking relaxed and confident, and among the huge crowd of spectators, I see a little dog laughing to see such fun, and a dish and a spoon enjoying the spectacle. It's all so historic, so momentous that it just makes you want to shout, "Hey, diddle, diddle!"
We'll have to leave Jim there, getting rather overexcited, sounding a bit like an overgrown schoolboy. News is coming in of an armed siege outside the Three Bears cottage. We're going over to Mary, our contrary correspondent. Mary, can you tell us what's going on?
No.
Oh.
What I can tell you, John, is that in the early hours of the afternoon, when the householders were out apparently taking a walk, though that may be a euphemism for the bears answering a call of nature in the woods, a juvenile offender broke into the cottage, stole a quantity of porridge, trashed the kitchen, breaking at least one stool, and is now in one of the family's beds asleep. Police have the house surrounded.
Come out, Goldilocks. We know you're in there. We don't want anyone to get hurt.
I'm speaking now to the Bear family. Mummy Bear, how did you feel when you discovered that your house had been broken into?
Violated and traumatised, to be honest. They've offered us all counselling, but it's not going to bring our porridge back, is it?
And Daddy Bear, how did you feel?
I'm angry. It's a real indictment of our times that you can't leave your door open and go for a walk in the woods.
Is that really what it was?
Whatever. Without some crazed girl with blonde ringlets stealing your breakfast cereal and breaking your furniture. And as for sleeping in Baby Bear's bed, what? Let's hope that's all she's done. Because we all know about what burglars do.
Baby Bear, how do you feel about your near-death experience? Was it terrifying? Could you cry? Now? Oh, hang on, there is some movement at the upstairs window.
Put the spoon down, Goldilocks, and no one will get hurt. Put the spoon down, now!
And that seems to be the end of the siege, John, and of Goldilocks.
A tragic outcome, Mary. What can we expect to happen now?
We can expect the coroner's report to confirm that Goldilocks died as a result of porridge poisoning. And yes, Inspector Plod has issued a statement saying that they would like to talk to Three Bears in connection with her manslaughter. Unfortunately, the bears in question have disappeared. Apparently, they've gone to have a walk in the woods.
Thank you, Mary. Now, thought for the day with Peter Rabbi. Peter, we could all do with a bit of cheering up. Tell me this isn't going to be one of your gloomy ones.
Hello, John. Hello, Jim. Wherever you are. No, there's nothing gloomy about today's Thought for the Day, which is all about luck.
Good to hear.
A while ago, my friend Jeremy Fisher, who's a delightful old frog, went out fishing for some minnows for his supper. There he was, sitting on his lily leaf, wearing his mackintosh and galoshes, when all of a sudden, guess what happened? A great big trout leapt out of the water and gobbled him up.
Oh, no.
But as luck would have it, the trout didn't like the taste of Jeremy's mackintosh and spat him out onto the bank.
Phew.
And the only thing that Jeremy lost were his little pair of galoshes. And you know what the luckiest part of the story is? The very next day, he was caught by a French chef who cut off his legs and served them up with garlic. So Jeremy didn't need his galoshes at all. Wasn't that lucky?
Thank you, Peter Rabbi. That certainly put a smile back on my face. Now, let's get back once again to Jim Tweedledee at Mission Control. Jim, how historic and epoch-making is it now? More than last time?
Yes, John, it's getting very historic and epoch-making indeed. This is it, the momentous moment of moments that we've all been waiting for. Final checks all done, cow in A1 shape, moon conditions perfect. Let's hear the countdown.
9, 10,
A big fat hen. 7, 8. Lay them straight. 5, 6. Pick up sticks. Cow beginning its run-up. 3, 4. Knock at the door. Cow at maximum velocity. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. We have bovine liftoff. Looking good, cow.
There goes the cow soaring through the atmosphere, higher and higher above the clouds and into the inky wastes of deep space. Now the cow is over the moon, and so am I. This is amazing. We can hear now from the cow, his words beaming thousands of miles through the void and reverberating through history.
It's one small jump for a cow, but a giant leap for cow kind.
A small jump for a cow, but a giant leap for cow kind. What a moment in the history of leaping livestock. It's a privilege to be here, John. And you aren't.
Thanks, Jim. And let's hope all that excitement doesn't give you a massive heart attack. Now, with the time coming up to Never Never, here's consumer rights champion Hector Protector with news of this week's Hector Protector Investigates.
Hello, I'm Hector Protector. I'm here at the seaside, on the trail of a potentially huge commercial scam involving the sale of fake shells, a scam which threatens the entire tourist industry. I've been informed that the mastermind behind the bogus souvenir racket is a woman called Sheila who sells seashells by the seashore. I'm going to go over to her stall now. Sheila, I'm Hector Protector from Hector Protector Investigates. Don't run away. I just want to ask you some questions. Sheila, these shells you're selling, are they surely seashells?
Look, if I'm selling shells by the seashore, then the shells I'm selling are surely seashore shells.
So what you're asking us to believe is that the mere fact that you are selling seashells on the seashore means that the shells you are selling are seashore shells?
Sure. Now, if you have any other questions, you'll have to speak to my lawyer.
Join me, Hector Protector, on Radio 40 Winks next Tuesday at 7:30.
Just time to go back to Jim for a last chance to find out how momentously, epoch-makingly historic it all is now.
John, the mission has gone exactly to plan. The cow has completed a full lunar orbit and is now heading back to Earth. Scientists are delighted with the data that the cow has sent back. Apparently, the moon is, as they suspected all along, made of green cheese.
Okay, Cal, this is Mission Control. You're good to go for re-entry. Can you give us a status update?
Mooston, we have a problem.
Come in, Cal. Come in, Cal. Cal, can you read?
Dramatic scenes here, John. They've lost contact with the cow and, oh my God, there's a fiery ball burning across the sky. Yes, it is confirmed the cow is burning up on re-entry and there's a smell of barbecuing meat. Oh, that's delicious. Has anyone got any relish? And maybe a beer.
Extraordinary scenes there from Mission Control, which must call into question the whole future of bovine space travel and indeed fat broadcasters going off on jollies at great expense to cover it. A very, very sad day indeed. So, just time to look at tomorrow's papers. The Nursery Times leads with St Ives bigamist jailed over 7 wives. The Daily Fairygraph has Munchkin protest as yellow brick motorway goes ahead. The Daily Mirror on the Wall goes for property slump as house that Jack built fails to get asking price. And the Twinkle Twinkle Daily Star has, would you believe, yet more naked pictures of Lady Godiva on her horse. So it's goodbye from me, John Tweedledum, in the studio, and goodbye from Jim Tweedledee in Mooston, stuffing his face with beer and cow meat.
Good night.
Shame he's not here to hit.
The news at bedtime starred Jack Dee, Peter Capaldi, Peter Donaldson, Lewis MacLeod, Alex McQueen, Lucy Montgomery, Vicky Pepperdine and Dan Tetzel. It was written by Ian Hislop and Nick Newman.